Hello, sewing people of the internet. This is going to be a relatively quick sew and tell. There's no real sewing demonstration or tutorial nature to this, but for the 3 to 7 of you who have been following my progression as I sew shirt, shorts, vest, and now this waist pack for my upcoming 50-mile run, my second attempt at running 50 miles, I just wanted to kind of close it out with the last thing I made. I didn't have time to film this, I just needed to get it done, but I thought you might find it interesting, and I'm actually really proud of how this turned out, so I'd like to show it to you. So when I run longer distance runs, there's not really a particular, well, I guess I would say if I'm wearing my hydration vest, then I usually have a waist pack, hip pack, bum bag, fanny pack, sling bag, whatever we're calling these things. I know, like in the U.S. we call it fanny pack, and that can be offensive in other countries, and I don't like the name. I've talked about this before. I wish we had a good universal name for these, but anyway, I'm going to call it a waist pack. So when I am using a hydration vest, my vest has room for my bottles, and it has pockets on the sides to hold gels, and I keep like a Ziploc bag with some toilet paper and contact lenses and things like that. And I like to have a waist pack on me to hold my phone. And if I'm carrying my GoPro, a lot of times I like to document stuff I see on my runs. Maybe extra gels, depending on how long the run is or how supported or unsupported, I might carry more or fewer things in this. But pretty much always run with some kind of waist pack when I'm running longer distances. The pack that I have been using is not very water resistant and only has one main compartment. I'll put a link in the corner to the video of when I made that pack. This is basically based on it. So for this race, I wanted to have something that is a little bit more water resistant because I'm going to be sweating like crazy for hours on end and could get rained on, although I don't think the forecast calls for it. And I wanted something with a separate compartment for my phone with a little bit of padding in it, and then a separate compartment that I could put the GoPro and gels and anything else I want to put in it, and just have them separated. So this is what I came up with. You can't really see the pack because of this. If you're not a runner or have never done any kind of races or anything, this might be unfamiliar to you. But this is a race bib. This is from an old race that I did. They're usually the same size at every race, so I'm counting on that to be the case for this because I kind of designed the bag around being able to display my bib. Normally if you do a race, they'll give you the bib, and then you can get some safety pins and you pin it to your shirt, which kind of ruins your shirt a lot of the time. And I just made the shirt, so I definitely don't want to stick pins in it. I usually bring a race, well, I have a race belt that uses the same attachment method I'll show you in a second, so that we don't have to put pins through your shirt. And I forget to bring my race belt probably 80% of the time. So my concept was, hey, I know I'm going to be carrying this pack. It's part of my gear that I always wear on long runs. So why not incorporate the bib mounting into that? So let me zoom in and I'll show you. So at each corner of the front of the bag, I put just a little loop of shock cord, and I've got cord locks. Now these just come off. They have to be able to come off to put the bib on, so there's always the risk of losing these. They're pretty easy to replace, but so I can just pull these off and take the bib off, and so when I get to the race and pick up my packet, I'll just put these on with the new bib, and hopefully they'll all stay on. There's 4 of them. If I lose one, I guess if I get down to the last one, I'll do something else, but I don't think it'll be a problem. I've used similar things on race belts many times. So that's the bib that'll go on the front of the bag. Now I'll show you the rest of the bag. Since we were just talking about that, it occurred to me, I'm going to bring some extras with me. And just at least have them in the truck in case I need them. None of you have asked, but just in case you happen to be interested. So the race I'm doing is fully self-supported, meaning I have to provide my own support crew. That support crew is my wife, so she will be able to meet me at specific checkpoints throughout the run, every few miles mostly, so that I can get more hydration, more food, opportunities to cool off, put some ice on, whatever I have to do throughout the run. So that's what I was saying, I can at least leave that in the truck because I'll be seeing her every few miles. So if I lose a cord lock or two, I'll just grab some more of the truck. But anyway, so pretty typical fanny pack, hip pack, waist pack, bum bag design here. It's essentially 9 inches wide by 5 inches tall, and it's separated into 2 compartments with a zipper for each. I have one zipper running in one direction and one in the other direction, just to hopefully make it a little bit harder to get confused about which pocket I'm opening, or I don't know, not opening 2 pockets by accident at the same time. So I made this in a real hurry, and so the zippers aren't perfectly in alignment with each other. If I were, taking my time to produce something of high quality, I would have liked to have taken a little bit more time to try to either get them lined up exactly, or maybe make them completely different lengths so that there's no question that they're different and it would look on purpose, more than it does right now. It's not terrible. I don't think most people would notice it, but I do. The back panel is orange spacer mesh. I didn't bother sewing any channels into it or anything. Again, this is pretty field expedient, but that hopefully will provide some additional ventilation, maybe, or it'll soak up some of the sweat. The panel closest to me as I'm wearing this is the phone compartment for my iPhone, and it's lined on the inside with X-Pack V21RS, which is a pretty water resistant material, so the spacer mesh is against that material. And then on the other side there's some sew foam, and my hope is that that will provide enough protection between the phone and the GoPro or whatever else I have in the other pocket. And then the pocket to the front will be where the GoPro and anything else I'm carrying lives. I've got the GoPro stuck in there just to make sure it fits, and that has V21RS X-Pack as the liner here, and then the main body of the pack is also V21RS. You can't see it, but this is black V21, but the wrong side of it is white, and the wrong side is white on the orange digital camo stuff as well. If you've watched the other videos in the series, you'll have noticed that I have a pretty orange theme going on. I don't think I really meant to have this much orange. I didn't know orange was my favorite color, but it seems to be apparently. So orange digital camo, I bought this some time ago from Ripstop by the roll just because I thought it would be cool to make something out of it, and it's been sitting in my stash for a while. So pretty much the rest of the pack is made out of this stuff. And then I have 1.5 inch webbing. I'm not really sure of the origin of this webbing. It was in my webbing stash box. And then I'm using an 1.5 inch fidlock buckle, and that just makes it easy to put on and take off, and should be pretty secure. I've got a little bit of extra length on the strap in case I need to, if I get uncomfortable and want to put it over my shoulder. Although with bottles on that won't really work very well, but I'll have some options with it. And then I made a little elastic keeper for the extra strap, so that should hopefully keep it from being too dangly. And that's pretty much it. This is a fairly simple project. The most complicated thing for me to puzzle out was putting what is essentially 2 packs together at the same time. And what I did was I made the front, I joined the front panel to the zipper gusset, bound that seam, and then I assembled that and the next panel, the gusset panel, basically join that to the zipper, then put the last panel on those last 2 seams. At some point maybe I'll do a video on making another one of these. I'm not sure how much in demand that video might be, but other than kind of puzzling out the order of assembly, this was a pretty easy project to do, partly because I've made a lot of stuff like this. This is the 4th or 5th, depending on how you count, pack of this style I've made, and it's not much different from a backpack or that kind of a thing, so nothing new here. But anyway, I'm very happy with how this turned out. I hope it works well. This is the one item that I'm not going to have a chance to test at all before I try to run 50 miles with it. Naturally, I'll have another pack or 2 in the truck in case I find there's something about it that's literally rubbing me the wrong way and I need to take it off. I'll have another option in the truck, but I don't think there'll be any problem. I think it'll be great. So I've run quite a few miles on a very similar pack to this. Anyway, I hope you found something about that interesting. If you have questions or comments, post them in the comments section below. I really appreciate when you click like. I really appreciate when you make comments. A lot of you have been very, very supportive and had very kind words for me for this upcoming challenging race. Greatly appreciate those. Look forward to yelling really loud from the finish line, and hopefully you'll hear me. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in a future video. Thanks.